Hi, I'm John. I'm going to tell you today about the basics of wall patching and the different products that are available to do that with. As you can see, there's an array of different types of products here, starting from the bag types, which have two different versions of them. We have pre-mix types, we have powders, and more pre-mix types. Well, basically what this is, starting with the simpler ones first, these would be considered spackling compounds for wall patches and ceiling patches, small holes, divots, dents, gouges, and things like that. And the difference being, this is what they call a lightweight spackle. It's almost the consistency of marshmallow. It's very light and airy. This product is used for small holes, and it's a product that you can paint over immediately with latex paint. It doesn't shrink and crack as much as the other ones do. However, it's not as strong as the others either. This would be a regular vinyl spackle, which is a pre-mix spackle. This goes on in the same manner with a putty knife. You fill the hole and you wait for it to dry, you sand it, prime it, and paint it, and you're done. Basically, this is another type of vinyl spackle, but this is a heavier duty one. It will set up harder. This is a product that you could use on corners and places where you need more strength. And this particular one here is, again, another vinyl type spackle. The difference being this one would be probably comparable to this one. The difference being is this one will go on, and when you put it goes on as a pink color. And as it dries, it turns white, so you know when it's dry. You're not guessing. These products are put on. When they're dry, you sand them, smooth them out, and if they do crack and shrink, depending on the size hole that you're doing, you just put another coat on, let that dry, and sand it and prime it again. Then you go on to different types of products. This is what they call a Plaster of Paris. This is a very fast setting, and it's very hard when you put it on. You have approximately 3 to 5 minutes to work with this before it starts to harden. So this would be something you'd use when you need to fill a hole in very quickly. Also, it's used for resetting ceramic soap dishes and towel bars and things like that into the wall. The old-fashioned ceramic ones used to have what they call a fist on the back of it, and you would fill the hole in the wall with this and put the towel bar or the soap dish back in, and that would adhere it to the wall. These products here are patching plasters. This is a pre-mixed patching plaster, and this is a powder. These products are used for patching larger holes than what you would use on the spackle. These normally have a little bit of a glue base in them that it's so more adhesion. Then you go on to what they call drywall compounds. There are two different types. There is the regular heavy-duty type, and now they have come out with a light-duty easy sand. These are the pre-mixed products. Again, a light easy sand one, and then the regular one. The bag products come in a 20, a 45, and a 90, which is basically the drying time on it. So one dries quicker than the other. Difference being in these is this is much easier to work with when you have larger areas to do. They sometimes use this as a skim coat. You wouldn't want to replace a skim coat of plaster with this, but it's used to patching larger holes with. And again, and this is basically the same thing. This does not come in a 20, 45, or a 90. This is just one. So the drying time on this would depend on the depth and the size of the hole that you're trying to patch with it. When you're trying to patch holes in wallboard, there are different products you can use too. These are types of tape that you use for drywall joints. This is a paper tape, which what you would do with that, which you would put your wallboard compound into the joint, and then you take your putty knife and embed the paper tape into the compound, and then follow that with another layer of compound over that. This one here is what they call a fiber tape, and it's just like this, and it's adhesive. So all you would do is you could just lay that down, stick it on the joint, and it actually saves you one step. You can just compound right over that. So basically when you do that, you let these compounds dry. You want to take a putty knife and you want to go out from the joint, 6 to 8 inches on each side. So what that does is kind of flattens it out so you don't end up with a lump or a bump in the middle. Other products for holes in the wall is, this is just a mesh patch. It does basically the same thing as this would do, only it's a little stiffer. It's adhesive, and you just put that over the hole, and then you would apply compound over that, and you would feather edge the compound out 6 to 8 inches on each side, so it hides the lump in the middle. This particular one is what they call a wet and set, and this is almost similar to a cast, which is it's a product that it's a mesh that's embedded with a plaster type compound that as soon as you wet it, you can just put it up and it'll harden, and then you can compound over that. So all of these products are available to do that with. After you've got your compound on the wall, there are different ways to smooth it out. Basically with your wallboard compounds and your spackles. Your spackles tend to be a little bit heavier than your wallboard compounds. To sand these, if you dry sand it, it creates a lot of dust, and it'll be all over the room. They do have vacuums that you can use that have special filters in them that would collect a lot of that dust, but the chosen method is to use a wet sponge or a wet sanding and do it that way, which would keep the dust down. You can actually use this product, put it on and patch it, and use a wet sponge to smooth it right out and not have to sand. The spackles, on the other hand, are again a little bit heavier. They won't smooth out with a sponge as easily as the wallboard compound will. And then there are different types of ways. If you are not going to use the wet sand method or the sponge, what they have is a sand screen, which is basically, as you can see, it's a screen. It's an aggressive grid on there, so you can sand it, and it tends not to fill up like sandpaper would. This is washable. You can put this on a hand sander, or they also have pole sanders such as this if you're doing large, and this goes on the end of this, and you can reach higher areas when you're doing wall joints and things. And then if you're just doing small patches, they do have what they call sanding sponges, which are, it's a block that is basically a sandpaper block. It has 6 sides to it. You can smooth this out. You can also rinse this out and use it again. Or you can also, if you're just doing a small patch, you can just take a regular piece of sandpaper and wrap it around a block of wood or anything flat and do it that way. So basically that is the difference between the different types of patches, and with that kind of knowledge you can almost do anything you want with the walls and the ceilings. So thank you very much.